Yeah, Zamp Formula V Championship. It's a 15-minute race. The red lights go on, they go out, and the race gets underway. Decent start from Tortola there from pole position. Leon Frost a little bit sluggish away. He might lose ground here to Vaughan Jones as they battle for third in the championship, but it's Bill Gonner trying to go around the outside. You've got coming up on the inside as well the number 44 car, which is Dan Polly, yesterday's winner in the WEV. You've got the champion crowned yesterday, Matt Harbert in the number 33 coming about, 6th position at the moment. There's slippery surface flags this part of the circuit, so pretty much all the way around the lap, so an extra challenge for the V drivers to contend with, but it's Bill Garner that's got the lead then from Dan Polly in second, Tortola third, Vaughan Jones fourth, Leon Frost is in 5th position as they make their way through the old hairpin for the first time and then start the climb up towards McLean's on the first of this 15-minute race, and the challenge on for the lead.
We saw Maverick versus WEV over the years, haven't we, in Formula V racing with two different drivers aboard today. So they head up the hill with Polly looking to the inside, and he takes the lead then. So through into the lead goes the Irishman, Dan Polly. He won yesterday. He's trying to get to the front and away before Matt Harbert gets there, I suspect. Harbert in 5th place. Vaughan Jones has got away from Leon Frost, hasn't he? And we said his best result was in a third, but maybe he'd like a bit more than that in this race, because he's right on terms with Bill Garner, the ex-superkart racer. Then Matt Harbert, the champion, in 4th. Tortola's dropped back a bit in his BAHS Challenger, probably one of the older cars in this front group. And now a big lock-up for Garner, and that's allowed Matt Harbert basically to try and pass all those cars in one go. Yeah, up the inside on the hairpin he went. He's wheel-to-wheel with Garner now, and it looks like Harbert's got his nose in front, so they come up to Goddard's for the first time. But later on the brakes is the Maverick. Tortola trying to take a wider line as well, but I don't think that's actually done him much good on this occasion. So at the end of the first lap then it's Dan Polly that comes through to lead the race then in car number 44. Second is the number 33 car of Matt Harbert. Third is number 12 Bill Garner. Fourth is number 3 Vaughan Jones. Then it's Leon Frost, but he's got level pegging with him for Tortola as they make their way through Redgate Corner. That's right. Studer up to 9th, by the way. He's made more positions than anybody else on the first lap. We said he started further back. Vaughan Jones has a big twitch down the Craners, and he's got his championship rival for third behind him now, Leon Frost. So they turn their way through the old hairpin. Will start to climb the hill. So good battle developing for the final spot on the podium as Matt Harbert goes after Dan Polly up front. So this is all about the battle for third in the race. Bill Garner, who had one podium earlier in the season at Silverstone, is in that position at the moment. That lead gap was 1.2 seconds in. It might be coming down. Matt Harbert going after Dan Polly, looking for win number 6 of the season. Yeah, that's right. As they head out of Coppice down the hill towards the S's, Fogarty S's for the second time in this race. Vaughan Jones now challenging Bill Garner for third position. Is on the inside line for the S's. It looks like Vaughan Jones, the driver from Abergavenny, has gone through to take third place. Vaughan Jones hasn't been on the podium since July at Cadwell Park. He's into that position now, but Garner is fighting back on the inside. So this is a real tussle for third spot with Tim Probert joining in. Tim had a pretty awful start to his season, didn't he? But he's had some better results since. He has had a 5th this year, but we've seen him win here at Donington Park in Formula V racing before. Leon Frost now is starting to gain momentum. He's on the inside of Bill Garner as well. So Garner starting to drop back. So the Class B cars are dropping away with Garner just ahead of Tortola. The pair of them ahead of Tim Probert. Then Peter Studer is the next car through. Polly, though, in fact, was quicker than Harbert over the lap. So the lead gap going up. So again, it's always battle for third and the battle for third in the championship now as well as Leon Frost looks up the inside of Vaughan Jones. Are they going to be wheel to wheel here as they head through Hollywood and onto the Craner curves? Yeah, still side by side it looks like as they head through Hollywood and down through the Craners. Bill Garner just behind them. He's been passed by both of them in the last half a lap. It looks like Frost, is he going to manage to get ahead? Vaughan Jones staying with it round the outside. He runs off onto the green concrete on the exit, and he's managed to stay alongside as a result of that there. He's still not ceded the position. They head off up to McLean's. They're still together side by side for half a lap here, and Jones it is that emerges in front. Does he at McLean's? He runs quite wide again. Yes, he does. Vaughan Jones, for the minute at least, stays third, but they're letting the top two get away. He's very keen to beat Leon Frost today, isn't he? And that is bringing everyone with them. Peter Studer said yesterday he didn't think he could get to the podium. Well, soon he's going to be in that third place battle. The battle between the top two looks pretty sorted, so it's all about this dice for third. And Bill Garner now fighting back in the Maverick, but Leon Frost has that line covered. Here comes Probert behind, up the inside of Tuller, so I think he's going to get sixth. But Vaughan Jones hanging on. And I guess really he needs cars between himself and Leon Frost here, doesn't he, if he's going to get third in the championship. And well, he's going the best way about it. He's staying in third and bringing more cars into this battle.
Turning their way out of the Melbourne hairpin up towards the Goddard's corner. This is to complete lap number 3 of the race. Dan Polly from Matt Harbert leading, but look at this, it's almost 3 cars side by side. You've got Probert and Studer involved there, and also Tortulla as well, who has yesterday sort of gradually dropping back down the order. It's Frost now that is in front of Vaughan Jones, so that's changed around. And then it's Garner, and then it's Probert. That's the top 6. Dan Polly's done the best lap of the race, a 1:48.019. That's just under 2 seconds outside the lap record set by James Howage 2.5 years ago. But it's Polly leading now by 2.6 seconds. It's another 4 seconds back to Leon Frost in third. As Colin Gregory in strife, and there's another car by the looks of it that had spun down now. That's the number 8 car of Ross Price in the gap.
Shame for Ross because he had a good run yesterday. So there's Studer then up to 7th there for the 60-year-old from Norfolk who started racing back in 1983 in the Junior Formula 4 Championship, but for third place in the race Leon Frost is fighting back, and again around the outside of McLean's. He carried a load of speed through the corner. If anything, Leon Frost was a bit slow perhaps, and that has brought Bill Garner in there. But now it's 2 groups of 3, isn't it, rather than 6 cars altogether as we had at the end of the previous lap, as Colin Gregory did make the pit lane, but he's out of it. He is not going to feature any longer. But for Vaughan Jones, good news is coming, because Bill Garner is challenging Leon Frost, who had a good look in the mirror. The Dominator, though, brakes late, but he's heavy sideways, he spins, he's chucked away this battle. Leon Frost may well have just chucked away third in the championship.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. He's going to struggle to get the car turned around, I think, and he will lose a lot more places. So Vaughan Jones now clearing third, Bill Garner 4th and 5th and 6th side by side. That's Peter Studer and Tim Probert, and Tortulla in there as well, moving up to 7th place after that spin out of 4th position for Leon Frost. Still this battle going on for the minor positions. Dan Polly's done another fast stop, a 1:47.146, so he's gone about 9/10 quicker than he did on the previous lap now. Jones over the line, Garner over the line, Probert having a look on the inside of the number 5 TCR Challenger of Peter Studer there. Tim Probert in the red Storm can't make it through at Redgate Corner.
Yeah, 2005 car Tim Probert is in. Studer's car from 2018, or when it was converted. That originally was an AHS Challenger, like Tuller's car, but it's had some work on it, hence the new name. So through the old hairpin they come. A good battle as Tuller tries to get back involved. The student from Derby, 21 years of age. The younger drivers on the grid. He's at the back of this group, second in the B class. Bill Garner continues to lead Class B. He hasn't had a win since Brands Hatch in that class, so it would be good to go out for him with a class win if he can. Leon Frost recovered, but in 17th, and I think he needs to finish really a couple of positions within Jones, and that looks quite unlikely now. But Jones hasn't got to make the same mistake that Frost made one lap ago. So Vaughan Jones, the 46-year-old, in the car that he prepares with his wife. He's in 3rd spot ahead of Garner then. Bill Garner, the 59-year-old from Cambridgeshire. Started racing back in 1976, but on 2 wheels in motorcycles before moving to supercarts in 1984.
Spinner is number 60. That is the car that started at the back, isn't it? Mark Newton in the shame, but he has got himself out of the gravel trap at the old hairpin. Spreading some more gravel onto the circuit, but at least he's got going again, which is good news. Just looking, Josh Malins, by the way, who's one of the others that started from the back, he's climbed up to 13th position in the number 46 car, the 17-year-old, in his, I think, only his 3rd race meeting.
He's quicker than a couple ahead, so he could make further progress. Studer is catching the 2 in front now, isn't he? He has caught Bill Garner as he braked there for Redgate Corner. On the previous lap, he was only a couple of attempts faster, but I think he gained a lot of time at Redgate. on that time through. So Jones hanging on to third, a position he's not finished in since he had a double podium at Cadwell. Then Bill Garner, he's in fourth. He has had an overall podium this year. He's been in the top 10 11 times. Then Studer and Probert. Peter Studer's had 3 podiums this year, included yesterday, plus once at Brands, once at Snetterton too. And then Tim Probert in his Storm at the back of the grid, the Steve Glasswell car. And they have dropped Tortulla now, haven't they? He's dropped quite a long way back in P7. But we are pretty much back to 4 then in the battle for third. And Bill Garner, I think, is going to lose a spot here to Peter Studer, who's on his inside. Probert wants to get involved in this as well. Don't think he's going to make it at the next corner, though, into the S's. Perhaps they're a little bit circumspect there as well, because they saw that Liam Frost, if you brake too late, you can quite easily spin at that part of the circuit. And that's, of course, what happened to Frost, who has recovered to 14th on that previous lap.
Down at the Melbourne hairpin, there's 4.25 minutes of this race left to go. Dan Polly about to come across the line to complete his 6th lap. He's just about, but his car is smoking badly now. As I could see out the window, we can now see on the stream as well, because that is not looking good for Dan Polly in the weather. And now Bill Garner's had a spin up at Goddard's in the number 12 Maverick as well. So a bit of a haze hanging now over the start and finish straight.
I've got memories of Silverstone when Dan Polly's Shane was smoking just like this and the track got there with the oily. It may be happening again. Dan Polly in the end retired on that occasion. The smoke is slowing down, whether that's a good or bad thing I'm not really sure, but that Bill Garner spin means that local driver Tortulla, local student to Donington Park, leads Class B, which he did for a lot of yesterday until it all went wrong. But this time it's his rival Bill Garner that's had that spin, so we'll see how that goes. Well, that sounds pretty sick, doesn't it? Polly's car.
It does. He's still in the lead, I think, at the moment. Matt Harbert has not yet caught him. There is Matt, and a spin now, another one for Ross Price. That's not a replay.
But like Garner, it's at the final corner. And perhaps that's where Polly's car started dropping something on the road.
Some more fluid down there at that part of the track now, so something for drivers to be aware of. So we've got now 2.75 minutes left in this race. There is the race leader who's putting a lap on the 60 car of Mark Newton. Dan Polly is still circulating and still at a reasonable pace as well, it would seem. So maybe it's not affected the performance of the car too badly, but Harbert, I think he's a bit closer than he was a while ago, and we'll see if Dan Polly just dive for the pits at the end of this lap.
He had a good look in his mirrors. He can't see any more smoke, so he might well carry on if the gauges don't suggest too much is up. Dan, who's 41 from Dublin. As you say, the 2016 Irish champion. Again, the smoke is a lot worse coming across the start line, somewhat bizarrely.
There's a black and orange flag, which may well be for him, actually. And I think he is pulling off. Yes, he's going to pull off onto the side of the road into the pit lane. So Matt Harbert takes the lead of the race. Then Peter Studer is actually up to 2nd place now. Didn't think he'd be doing that from 15th on the grid. And Vaughan Jones in 3rd place.
So he's still 3rd, but he's lost the spot. So he's still not going to get his best result of the season quite. But 3rd in the championship for a 3rd year running looks more likely for the driver from Wales. But there's Harbert then, leading once more. He's had such a good season. I don't think he'd won a race before this year, had he? He'd been quick. He'd had some poles last year, but I don't think he had a race win until this season. And now he's on course for his 6th win. He's 8 seconds ahead of Peter Studer. The lap times are still okay, aren't they, from the rest? I hope the track is not actually too oily, which we feared could have been the situation that was going to arise. Garner back ahead of Tuller in Class B, so change to the Class B lead again. Bill Garner about 1/4 of a second, 3/10 ahead of Tuller. But that's the gap with a back marker between Matt Harbert and Peter Studer, and a change for 3rd. Tim Probert has got ahead of Vaughan Jones.
He has indeed, so Jones now going to try and fight back. We're watching the Studer car get past the back marker there, but in the background we've got Vaughan Jones and Tim Probert, I should say, disputing the position, and it's Probert that comes out of the Fogarty S's in front of the Welsh driver. They're heading off down to the Melbourne hairpin for what with the penultimate time in this race, just about 30 seconds to go.
It's been a while since Tim Probert's been on the podium, hasn't it?
It has, yes. So that'll be quite something for him. I think he had his only win here at Donington Park, didn't he? And that was were you here for that very crazy race?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a one to remember.
Especially the last corner.
Yeah.
That's where it
all unfolded.
So we are going to get one more lap, and it's side by side. The second Probert might not just be third, because going on to this final lap, he's on the outside of Peter Studer. He's set a PB, so if the track is slippery for anybody else, it's not for Tim, as he takes second place. There's Jones, he's dropping back in all of this. They're the Class B cars at the back of your screen. Bill Garner's just ahead of Tortola, but for second place, absolutely nose to tail, two long-term Formula V racers absolutely together, Tim Probert and Peter Studer. Two drivers that are in their 60s but still pushing on for podium finishes in single-seater racing.
So blue flags waving to let the back markers know that there's quicker cars coming through on to the final lap of the race. Then the time has counted down to 0. They're still disputing second place. Tim Probert in the red car on the inside from McLean's, Peter Studer in the TCR Challenger on the outside, Team Farrisbrook Racing, right in his toe as they climb up to Coppice Corner, looking to the left-hand side of the circuit.
Vaughan Jones could get involved in this yet, because he's catching them quite quickly on this lap as they battle.
Indeed. Matt Harbert, though, well out in front, 9 seconds in the lead at the start of this final lap. He's in front. Who's second, though? It's Probert with the inside line for Fogarty S's. As you say, Vaughan Jones is bearing down on them as well, so it could be a real humdinger of finish down at the Melbourne Hairpin, and Goddard Hairpin for the final time for second place. But, Probert's now slowing, and both of them are going past him. So it looks like Probert's down to fourth, and it's Jones around the outside of Studer now for second position. Can he get second place back here? No, he can't quite do it. He's going to be in the tow as they climb up the hill. It's going to be Studer, who started 15th on the grid, but Matt Harbert is coming across the line to take the checkered flag to seal his championship. What's that, 6 wins? 7 wins? No, 6 wins in the year, isn't it? Who's going to be second? It is going to be Peter Studer, who takes second place on 15th on the grid, giving himself a round of applause there. Third place goes the way of Vaughan Jones. Tim Probert, I think, with problems towards the end, hangs on to fourth place. Bill Garner fifth, Tortola in sixth.
Garner takes off a Class B win to go with his championship like Harbort. But, shame for Tim Probert, he didn't get that podium, but it's another third for Vaughan Jones in number 3, so it's all the threes all at once. But a 9-second victory for Matt Harbert. Francis Twyman, by the way, came home in 7th, ahead of Rick Lanier, who's had his best weekend of the year, that's for sure. Simon Foley, yesterday's B winner, was 9th, and from the back, Will Mayling's got 10th.
Yeah, good result.
Leon Frost has faded again, so I don't know what's up with this car. I think he should have stayed in the car he's been in all season, because that's gone much better than this weekend has. That is for sure. Across the line comes Daniel Lanier there. They're still battled through the field. Oliver Mitchell there, the student from Gloucestershire, the 22-year-old. He takes 14th, just ahead of Sam Engineer, another long-term V racer. Oh, and Leon Frost has lost more places, has he, on the last lap? Where certainly the car is fading pretty dramatically. He's going to get 16th, but that's not what he came here for this weekend. To be interesting to see if Leon is back next year, the 17-year-old, and perhaps do what Matt Hyde did last year and have a second season and take the title then. But an entertaining race to start off Sunday here at this Donington deciding weekend.
That's right, last few cars coming across the line to take the checkered flag. Obviously the demise of Dan Polly while leading. He got the fastest lap of the race, a 1:47.146, allowed Matt Harbert to sort of take a victory lap, really, have a win in the final round of the season to add to his list of success already. So he's the champion. Craig Bell second, and Vaughan Jones with third place in that race, finishing in third position. Let's have a look at the results then. Confirmation that it was a win for Matt Harbert. Second place went the way of Peter Studer, who was 9 seconds behind the 33 car. Peter Studer second in number 5. Third was number 3, Vaughan Jones. Fourth was number 4, Tim Probert. Fifth was number 12, Bill Garner, who won Class B. He's the Class B champion. Sixth was number 90, Tortul, on his last free race. 7th, 88, Francis Twyman. 8th, 24, Rick Lanier. Simon Foley was 9th in the 32 car, and Will Maylins climbs into the top 10 from the back of the grid. Then Matt Topham for Waterhouse, Daniel Lanier and Oliver Mitchell. Further back, it was the car in 15th position of Sam Engineer. Leon Frost was 16th, Ross Price 17th despite a couple of spins, then Sam Wilbank and Chris Wilshire the last finisher on the lead lap. And Formula V will return next season with the 750 Motor Club. We have 3 more races to come before the lunch break for you. We've got the Nankang Tyre Sports 1000 Championship, the National Lighting Toyota MR2 Championship, and F1000s as well. But we are ready, I think, to head down into the pit lane for the first time today to speak to our top 3 drivers. And the person that's going to be doing that is Matt Suckling.
Good morning, yeah, thanks very much, Ian. We're down here in a very cold pit lane at day 2 at Donington Park, but we've got some good racing to warm you up throughout the day, which is good. And Matt Harbour has had a very, very quick slow down lap, so he's already back with us. And Matt, pop over here and have a quick chat. Well done, champion from yesterday. You wrapped that up. You could go out there today and have a little bit of fun, and now you take your 6th win of the season. Well done.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lucky win, really, because I think Dan had it wrapped up, and then I saw his car start smoking, but it wasn't slowing down, and I thought, oh, we've got a problem here. And then all of a sudden it went quite dramatically in the end. So yeah, it was a nice win to have, nice way to round the season off. That was probably the easiest win of the year, to be honest. So yeah, what a great way to finish. Yesterday we had a stroke of luck, we've had a bit of a stroke of luck today, so yeah, it's a good way to end the season.
And in terms of Dan having that problem, did it lay anything down on the circuit?
There was a bit of oil going about. I had to take one of my tear-offs, and a couple of the apexes had a bit of oil, but nothing too strenuous, so it was okay. Yeah.
So you wrapped up the championship, as we know. What's the plans for next year? Going to come back and retain it?
Dan's car's looking pretty quick, so I think we're going to have to put a bit of work into the car, try and get it on par with Dan. He obviously knows what he's doing behind the wheel as well, so already planning for next year. Yeah. Good
to hear. Matt, well done this year. Congratulations, and a nice way to end with a win as well. So good luck to him for next year. Peter Studer comes home in 2nd place. Peter, it's been a great weekend for you. 2 podiums now.
I'm totally speechless off P15. We never ever expected to get top 5, really. Yeah, that was a hell of a race. Obviously the leaders were miles away. I had no idea actually where I finished. Yeah, that was one of the best V races I've had. Very, very, very clean. Everybody was driving 10 tenths, and what a way to end the year, end the season. Just wish it was starting.
Well, there's next year to look forward to. Yeah, as you said, 15th on the grid up to 2nd. You had a few challenges there. I think you had Tim at one point, and then Vaughan was coming towards the end.
Yeah, I caught them and picked them off, and then I made a mistake. I missed a gear. Tim got me back. He's pretty quick down the straight. Then he made a mistake, and that let Vaughan back in, and Vaughan got me. And as he just said, I had to squeeze him out the hairpin on the last lap, but yeah, last race of the year, no, whatever it is. But we're all clean, and that's the main thing. Go back on the trailer, into the workshop, and work out how to go quicker next year. But thank you very much.
Thanks, Peter. We look forward to seeing you in 2025 as well. And 3rd place, Vaughan Jones. Vaughan, that was a cracking race for you. I think you had some battles early on, and with that result, I think you've wrapped up 3rd in the championship as well.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be good, because yesterday's race was a complete, absolute horrible one. But today, no, 3rd is fantastic, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. If I've got 3rd in the championship, that's 3 in a row. So at least I don't have to change the number on the car.
It's always handy, isn't it? We did see you battling quite hard with Leon Frost towards the start, and then he kind of disappeared with a spin. Did you see that?
Yep, saw it in the mirrors, had a little smile on my face, I should say. But then started battling with, I think it was Bill Garner, and then Peter Studer, and then Tim Probert joined it as well. But yeah, managed to get them at the end.
Good stuff. Well done, Vaughan. Congratulations on your season within Formula V as well. So that's them done, as Ian and Josh said. So we look forward to seeing what they can provide for us next year with the 750 Motor Club. For now, though, you can hear the cars in the background about to head to the grid in what was a fascinating race yesterday. I'll let the guys tell you all about it as we get set for the Nankang Tyre Sports 1000 Championship.